Hi everyone, I'm Sarah and you're watching a Sarah C. Poetry live video. I am taking this one outside tonight because I need to get out. It's Michigan, it's winter time, it's dark, and I'm sick of doing all the things that need to be done inside. I felt trapped. I'm desperate for fresh air and I want to feel alive again. Even though it's so bare out here, it smells fresh. It's amazing how simply changing my perspective can feel so invigorating. Even if you don't live in a place with a gloomy winter, I'm sure you can still relate to the core feeling of being trapped at times. What is it for you? How do you feel trapped? I wrote a poem called Thinking Bigger that takes this idea to a new level. Even though this poem could mean several things, I'm going to pick one direction and run with it for now because I think it'll be interesting, and it also, unfortunately, involves a confession. So here goes. You ready for it? One of my biggest struggles is selfishness. Are you rolling your eyes because you were hoping for something juicier? I guess it doesn't seem so bad to say that because I think most of us consider it normal to be somewhat selfish. But if we're all being real, selfishness looks pretty ugly. It can cause a lot of pain. It ultimately results in wasted time and potential, and it also results in many missed opportunities. Okay, so I guess I'll show you the poem now. I'm a visual writer, and so you may have noticed that my poems have very deliberate word placement. This one may be harder to read at first glance, but it's for a purpose. I think the scattered effect is to show the struggle in my head. I'm wrestling with the battle between thinking only about myself and needing to think more about others. So I'll read it to you now. Thinking bigger. Outside of myself. Outside of myself. I need to get out. Outside of myself. Out of me, of my head, me, about me, not about me, not me. It's about you, and ultimately you. Outside, not here, trapped. I need out. Need to think above, think about, think bigger, think outside. Out past the border where selfishness lives and where selfless love begins. Okay, so if you've watched any of these videos so far, you know that the purpose of this site isn't to promote my writing and become famous. And even though I will admit that it feels good when you guys like the videos and watch them. But as selfish as I can be, my goal is not to be the next big Facebook thing. My purpose is to be real about myself and to share what I think God has placed in my heart with as many as I can, because I'm convinced that we are way more similar than we realize, and that understanding this is a key to unity. But beyond sharing my thoughts, I want to provide a space where we can walk this journey together. So I'm hoping you'll respond, and so we can be encouraged and realize that we have a lot in common. And that's why I'm trying, maybe unsuccessfully, to keep this video short. I don't want it to be about me this week. I want it to inspire discussion and ultimately action of how we can think bigger. So please respond creatively in a way that reflects who you are. I mean, photographer and artist friends can share pictures or drawings that show beauty in the faces of real people. And I can think of a dozen songs already that talk about loving others, and so music lovers, what ones can you think of and attach? Please find quotes that are way better than my poem to share with us. I know there's been memes, there's been articles, there's been videos of people doing some surprise loving on strangers lately. I'd love to see people respond in a way that encourages us all to be a little bit more others-minded. So, even more than inspiration, we ultimately need action and accountability. I have some ideas and questions to get us started. So first of all, who is someone you can show just some practical kindness to this week? maybe just this next hour, in the next few minutes. And unfortunately, here's what you probably already know. Sometimes the person to whom we need to show the most kindness is often unkind to us. Yeah, it's tough to love those people without having a selfish motive, which is namely hoping that they'll change. Maybe we should start with a less threatening idea. And to help you out, I have something, and I guess you can call it a contest, if that would make you more inclined to participate. So this week, anyone who responds by sharing this video or leaving a comment or attachment will be automatically entered in a drawing to win $10 McDonald's gift card. So I'd love to send you one so you can go and grab my favorite, a milkshake, or if you live someplace cold, maybe you'd want a coffee or a hot chocolate. But anyways, while you're there, I want you to scope out the place and find someone in line who looks like they could use a little bit of compassion, and use the rest of the gift card to pay for their meal. Now, I know it's just a small act of kindness, but things like that will go a long way for that person, but also for ourselves. And that leads me to my second question tonight. What does thinking bigger look like to you? Sometimes it's just listening instead of my specialty, which is talking. Sometimes it's, I don't know, giving a hug to someone who could use it. Sometimes it's paying for the person in line behind us. And as a parent, spouse, and friend, it often involves patience, speaking kind words, and the gift of time. Sometimes thinking bigger involves being less stingy with our resources. Really, to me, I think thinking bigger is ultimately anticipating a need and taking steps to respond. And in order for us to do that, our eyes need to focus on others more than ourselves. So, do you struggle with selfishness like me? In my experience, I've found that I can't exclusively rely on my own strength to improve. I can't just try harder or do better. But it makes sense though, right? Instead of finding all the answers inside of myself, I need to think outside. I need to turn to someone bigger, that uppercase Y-O-U from the poem. So here's what I found in my experience. I'm more successful in thinking bigger and putting others first after I spend time talking to God about it. I ask Him to give me eyes to see outside of myself. And then, wow, it could be minutes later, days later, sometimes even weeks later. But then I almost always find myself in a situation where the nudging in my heart becomes like a pounding in my head until I respond unselfishly. It's like He'll place the opportunity right in front of you if you just take the time to see it. So anyways, I probably failed my goal of having an extra short video this week, but even so, thank you for watching. I hope you'll follow along and maybe considering sharing or commenting, and be on the lookout to see who's going to win those gift cards so you can put practical kindness into action this week. I can't wait to hear stories of how you're going to join me in escaping the trap of ourselves and start thinking bigger this week. Bye.